Hello students, today we are starting the new chapter of class 9 geography, chapter number 2, physical feature of India. So in this chapter we will be mainly talking about the physical feature of India. Okay, so if I ask you what are the physical feature means, so most of you students will say that physical means that the things which we can see easily. Okay, and these can be the physical traits of anyone. Okay, if I ask tell me the physical feature of any human being, so you will say that as we have a different kind of nose, we have an ears, eyes. Okay, so these are the physical trait which defines, okay, or which elaborate any one person. Okay, so in the same manner, if I say the physical feature of India, so it means it will tell that as India is a landmass, so in India we have a different kind of mountains are there. Okay, then we have a northern plains, then we have a plateau, coastal areas. Okay, then we have the desert and the islands. So all these things, all these physical feature of India will be discussing in this chapter. Okay, but before starting the chapter, some kind of question have come across in your mind sometime, that which used to say that why we found these kind of different physical feature in the different places. Okay, why we have a different kind of rocks in the different places. Sometime in some places we have found a very hard rock like granite, and sometime or somewhere we have found a very soft rock, like which is uses for making of the talc compounder. So what is the reason behind of having these kind of different rocks in a different places? So first of all, we talk about the reason of having a different rocks in the different places. Okay, so there are two reasons: geological period and the there are many processes were there, like weathering, erosion and deposition. Okay, so first of all we'll talk about the geological period. Now what is the geological period? Geological period means that these are the a kind of a division which has been made by the geologists, and here on the basis of the Earth's history. You must have studied in your classes about the history, that how the Indian history has been divided into the different divisions, like as we have the ancient history, then we have the medieval history, and then we have the modern history. Okay, so in the same manner, the geologists, they have also divided the earth history into different periods. Okay, and these different periods were millions of years ago also. Okay, so the first period can be millions years ago. So from the first period till the present period, what kind of changes has been done? Okay, so because of those changes, we found the different type of rock in the different places in the earth. Okay, now next is there are a number of processes like weathering, erosion and deposition. Now what is the weathering? Weathering is the breaking down of the rocks, maybe through the wind or the water or other biological organisms. Okay, now erosion. Now what is erosion? Means erosion is wearing off all the soils or the minerals from one place to another. Okay, transportation of all these things from one place to another by means of wind and water. Okay, now next is the deposition. Deposition is also a kind of a natural process where these weathering agents, they start depositing the sediments in some places. So when they deposit, this process is known as the deposition. Okay, so these are the two reasons why we found the different type of rocks in the different places in the earth. Okay, now next we'll be talking about the theory of plate tectonics. Now why we have a different kind of physical feature in the different country. Like if we talk about in the European places, where we found the climate of those regions are means more in most of those areas we found the snow, the hilly areas. Okay, but if we go to the southern part of the country, somewhere we found the big mountains. Okay, somewhere we found the desert area in Africa. The two deserts, big deserts are there. Okay, so what are the reasons of these physical features in the world? Okay, so many of the scientists, they have made many of the attempts to explain the formation of the physical feature in the different areas. So one of the famous theory is the theory of plate tectonics. Now what does the theory of plate tectonics says? According to the scientists they said that the earth crust is been divided into 7 major and 7 minor plates. Okay, you must be knowing the structure of the earth. As we have, if we talk about the structure of the earth, we have almost 3 layers. Okay, this upper layer is known as the crust, and in the middle we have the core. Okay, and this middle portion, layer is known as the mantle. I think all these things you must have studied in your previous classes. In I think in 6th, 7th classes you must have studied. So according to the scientists, they said that as the upper layer, the crust is divided into 7 major and the 7 minor plates. Okay, and this mantle means the middle layer of the earth is being is having a molten magma. Okay, because in this area the molten magma originates. Okay, so you all know that the molten magma is in a liquid state. So they said that because the molten magma is in liquid state, so the earth crust is floating on that molten magma. Okay, and when the molten magma moves, so as the upper layer, the crust is lying over the middle layer, so because of the movement of the molten magma, the upper crust is also moves according to it. Okay, and this movement of the crust, because as the crust moves, so the other 7 major and the minor plates also moves. Okay, but this movement is very much slow. We people, we do not feel the movement of these plates because it's too much of slows. It takes almost 100 or the million of years to take a movement. Okay, so here they said that this movement of the crust is mainly responsible for the folding, faulting and the volcanic activity. Now what is this folding, faulting and the volcanic activity? We'll come to know by knowing the different plate movements. Okay, as these scientists, they have said that the plates which is there in the earth crust, they moves. Okay, so this movement has been categorized by the scientists into 3 categories. Now these are the convergent boundary, divergent boundary and the transform boundary. Now what are these convergent, divergent and the transform boundary? Or these boundary can also be called the convergent plate, divergent plate and the transform plate. Now what are these? First of all, we'll discuss about the convergent plate. As they said, there is a movement of plates, means the plates moves in the earth crust. So you just imagine that these are the plates. Okay, so according to the scientist, convergent boundary means, or the convergent plates means, when any 2 plates, they come closer to each other and they collide with each other and they form a kind of a different kind of formation, and this formation is known as the folding. Okay, so this folding is responsible for making the mountain in the earth. Okay, so this is the convergent boundary. Now the second is the divergent boundary. Now what is the divergent boundary? Diverge means whenever any 2 plates, they move away opposite to each other, so this kind of movement is known as the divergent boundary. So it creates a kind of a rift, it creates a kind of a gap between any 2 plate. So that kind of gap creates a rift valley. Okay, so this kind of movement is responsible for making the rift valley in the earth. Okay, now next is the transform boundary. Now what is the transform boundary? Scientists, they said that whenever any two plates, they move horizontally each other. Okay, so this movement is also very slow. So when any two plates, they moves horizontally each other, so this movement is responsible for the earthquake or the volcanic activity. Okay, so that is known as the transform boundary. So again, here the convergent boundary means when any two plates, they collide with each other and they create a kind of a folding. Okay, and whenever there any kind of a whenever any two plates, they moves apart with each other. Okay, so it creates a kind of a faulting in between. So that is known as the divergent boundary. Transform boundary, whenever any two plates, they move horizontally with each other, so it is responsible for the volcanic activity. Okay, so I think you have understand about the plate tectonic theory. Now further we move on. The event of any two plates may collide, crumble and slide under the other. As I have told you that in the movement of any two plate, it can crumble, it can collide with each other, it can crumble with each other, or it can slide with one another. Okay, now if any of the plate slide in under one, other plate, so it means that we all know that below the earth crust we have the molten magma. So whichever the plate is moving inside the other plate, so that plate will dissolve or will dissolve into the molten magma, and later on it will come out in the form of the volcanic activity. Okay, okay. Now next we'll be talking about the formation of the Indian landmass. Now here we discussed about why we found the different kind of physical feature in the different part of the world. But now we'll be talking about the formation of the Indian landmass. Now here I will tell you the story of Pangaea and the Penthalassa. But you must be thinking that who are these Pangaea and the Penthalassa? But I want to tell you that these are not the lovebirds. Okay, so just now you have to imagine here that this is our earth. Okay, now just imagine millions years ago, our earth used to be looked like in this manner. Okay, means nowadays whatever the land masses, the big land masses or the continents you see in the world map. Okay, so in whichever places, in the present places, so those places, those land masses were earlier a part of one single big land mass. Okay, and that big land mass was known as a supercontinent. So the name of that supercontinent was the Pangaea. Okay, so this big landmass was known as the Pangaea, and the water body whichever the water body we were having that time in the earth, so that water body was known as the Penthalassa. Okay, now next I want to tell you that this whole of the Pangaea, the lithospheric landmass, it was divided into two parts. Okay, though it was a single landmass, but it was divided into two parts. The northern part is known as the Laurasia, or it was also known as the Angara land. Okay, and the southern part, this whole portion, is known as the Gondwana land. Okay, so here you have to remember the northern area, it is known as the Angara land or a Laurasia, but the southern part of the Pangaea was known as the Gondwana land, and our Indian landmass was a part of the Gondwana land. Okay, so here I want to tell you that as you can see here I have written Eurasia. So it means here this part consists of the Europe as well as the Asia. Now here you can see the North America. Now if we talk about the southern part, the Gondwana land, here we have the South America, Africa. This is the India. India earlier was connected with the Africa and Australia also. Okay, so here we have the Antarctica and the Australia. So, and in between the Angara land and the Gondwana land, we were having one sea, and that sea was known as the Tethys Sea. Okay, so we will recapitulate what all things we were having in the Angara land and then Gondwana land. In Gondwana land, we were having the India, Australia, South America, Antarctica and South Africa. Students, you have to remember all these countries or the continents name in the different land masses of the Pangaea, because these kind of question can be asked in the MCQs. Okay. Now next is the Angara land. In Angara land, we were having the North America, Europe, North Africa, North Asia and Arctic. Okay, so this is all about the not all about the story of Pangaea, but later on what happened, that as I have told you, that all these land masses were there in the earth crust. Okay, so below the land masses, what they were having the molten magma. And as we all know that molten magma is very much hot. Okay, so because of the hotness, it created a kind of a convection current. You must be knowing about the convection current, that the convection current, like this is the crust, we can say. Okay, now below the crust they were having a kind of a molten magma. Now this is the molten magma. Okay, now convection currents are those currents like these are in the form of the gases. Okay, the gases or the air which is there above the hot surface, they are light in weight, so they moves up, they rises up. Okay, so in the same manner, the molten magma, the air, that is the hot air, they rises up, and later on they started subsiding downward. As you must have seen, whenever you have boiled any water in any of the utensil, so you must have seen when the water boils, that time you must have find some bubbles in that water which comes out, and later on it started subside down. Later on it started going back down. Okay, so in the same manner, these air, the hot air, they rises up, or they rises up, and they gives a kind of a pressure there, and later on they started subsiding down. Okay, so whichever they have these convection currents were formed in between, so those land masses, they have started drifting apart from each other. Okay, so because of this, there are many areas where these kind of convection currents was forming, and because of that, whole of the land mass, whole of the Pangaea was started drifting away. Okay, like if we talk about the India and the Australia, these were earlier a part of a single landmass or a single plate, I would say. So they were known as the Indo-Australian plate. Okay, so this Indo-Australian plate, they have started moving towards the north, and the European plate, Eurasian plate. So this Eurasian plate started moving toward the south, and later on, so in this form, all the different continents, they have started moving apart with each other. So nowadays, in whichever manner you found the different continent in their present place, it happens because of the convection current present in the mantle or the middle layer of the earth. Okay, so this was all about the formation of the Indian landmass, and later on the Indian landmass, it started it stick with the Asian continent. Okay, so this is all about the formation of the Indian landmass, how our Indian landmass was formed. In next video, we'll be mainly talking about the physiographic division of India. Okay, so in that video, we'll be mainly talking about the how our Himalayas were formed. So this is all about this video. Thank you.